Hello, folks. This is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball, the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on March 11th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, in this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see on my game card I have 5 colors. It's red, orange, green, blue, and purple. And these represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is on that piece of paper is draw out the game card. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is go to the Powerball homepage and find out what were those 5 white winning numbers. It was the 26, 27, 43, 61, and 69. The Powerball number was the 4, but I'm only concerned about these 5 white winning Powerball numbers right now. Okay, so I put those numbers on top of the list. Again, it was the 26, 27, 43, 61, 69. And now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see that this game card is for March 8th, 2023. So I need to update it to the 11th. But I need to get the colors off it before I do. Okay, so the 26 was orange. The 27 was blue. The 43 was blue. The 61 was green. And the 69 was red. Okay, so again, the 26 was orange. The 27 and 43 were both blue. The 61 was green. And the 69 was red. Okay, so that gives me 4 colors total. 4 out of 5 colors came up. And now this is 221 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 4 color combination has now come up 85 times. Okay, so what I want you to focus on here is the 3 color combination. This has come up 105 times out of 221 drawings. Okay, so it comes up the most. And the thing about it is, if 3 colors are coming up, then 2 colors are not coming up. And that's what I want to focus on here. I want to try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate it off of my game card. Okay, so looking at this here, again, I'm going to update my game card here. So I'm going to get rid of all the colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So just to give you a visual here, I'm going to transfer these last 15 numbers over to my game card as red numbers. Okay, so starting with the 26, the 27, the 43, the 61, and the 69. The next line down is the 2, the 13, the 29, 58, and 69. You can see that 69 is already taken. So the last line is the 10, 16, 18, 40, and 66. So again, I'm going to make these red. And now I'm going to count how many red numbers I have on my game card. So I got 3 and 3 are 6, 2 are 8, 1's 9, 1's 10, and 4 are 14. So I'm going to leave this at 14. Okay, so the 69 came up twice, and that's why there's 14 numbers here. Okay, so now I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over to the game card as orange numbers. Okay, so how I look at this is these red numbers, you can look at it as these are really hot, they just came up. And the orange are warm. Green is cool. If you see a blue number, that's cold, and a purple number is freezing. It hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so again, I'm going to transfer these over. So the 2 is already taken, so I'll start with the 9, the 28, the 49, 51, and 55. The next line down, oops, I kind of screwed that up. The 36 and 53 actually. Okay, so the next line down is the 16, which is taken. The 28's taken. The 49 is taken. And now it's that 51 and 55, which I already did. Okay, so the next line down is the 11. Then the 24. The 58 is already taken. The 66 is taken, so the 67. And the last line is the 11, which is taken, so the 19, the 39, 44, and 65. So again, I'm going to make these orange. So I'm going to count how many I have. So I got 3 and 2 are 5, 4 is 9, 1's 10, and 4 are 14. So up here I'm going to make this 14 as well. Okay, so you can see that I already updated the game card here, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so again, there was 14 red numbers, 14 orange, turned out to be 16 green, 13 blue, and 12 purple numbers. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, so the way I figured out my color code here, this gives me double-digit figures, double-digit numbers per color, okay? And it's really consistent like this, okay? So the thing is when you have consistency, then things can get predictable. Okay, so again, what I'm trying to do here is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up. Now, the first thing I'm going to do to give me a clue is try to correctly guess what the majority of the numbers will be. Will it be odd or will it be even? Okay, so looking at the past here, I like to break things down into 5 like this. And the O stands for odd, so the majority was odd numbers, 3 drawings to 2. Okay, so as I go back into the past, you can see that the even numbers have been coming up a lot more than odds. So I'm going to say that this continues on with odd numbers. Okay, so I'm going to look at the color that has the most even numbers, and I'm going to eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I'm going to start in with the red to see how many even numbers they have. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 14. That's pretty good. Okay, now orange. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 14. That's not very good. Okay, so green. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 16. So that's even, 50-50. And then blue, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 13. So that's pretty good as well. And then purple, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's even as well. Okay, so it's the either the red or the blue kind of sticks out the most. And looking at this, I'm going to go with the blue. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all the blue numbers off my game card. And hopefully these numbers do not come up. Because when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if you're playing at home, you would X out. If you're going to go with blue with me, then you would X out all these blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so maybe you heard of the saying, divide and conquer. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my next strategy, which is the individual numbers. And I'm going to try to eliminate numbers from here as well. Okay, so here's the winning numbers again, the 26, 27, 43, 61, 69. Okay, so what my individual numbers here, what I did is I divided these numbers, all 69 numbers, into 7 different groups. Okay, so group number 1 here, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers for 69 numbers. Okay, so I divided it into 7 different groups, and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that 2 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. So the strategy is try to correctly guess what group will not have the winning Powerball number to it, and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works hand in hand with the color code here is I want to point out these numbers right here, the past drawing. You can see this 2 came up. So as I scroll over, here's the 2, and I made this square 2 because the red is 2. Okay, so it's the same thing with the 26. Here's the 26, and I made it orange because the 26 is orange. Okay, so let me first point out that this 3 represents that I hit 3 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so in the last drawing, 4 of these groups did not have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so let me show you how I use my color code here. So I wanted to point out these 3 red numbers here. And I was looking at this as I was playing my game. I looked at it and said, okay, here's a red number, and I haven't seen a red number in a long time, so I think one is due to come up. And finally one did here with the 23. Okay, so that's how I look at it. I say, okay, a certain color hasn't come up in a long time. When is it due to come up? Okay, so what I did as well is this big square right here, this is good for 5 drawings. And I broke it down into 5 like this, so it's just easier for me to count. Okay, so if a red number hasn't come up in a while, I could look and I could say, okay, how long has it been? It's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 drawings here. Okay, so that just helps me count. But what I noticed is that since I did break it down into 5 like this, I noticed that the average hit per group is like 4. Okay, so here's like the basic average. So when I see something like this, like over here with this teens, with this, 10 through 19 numbers, I got this correct with this drawing here. I said, well, it's over average. There's 5 of them here. I don't think there's going to be a 6th. And I was correct. Okay, so again, this is how I use the game. So I'm starting a new 5. So this is really hard to pick, okay? I certainly like it at the end of the 5 where I have a bunch of numbers in here. Okay, but looking at it, I just want to see what's been really hot lately. Actually, let me reduce this down so we can see the whole card. Okay, so again, I'm looking for a color that hasn't come up in a while, and here in the 50s, I see a green number hasn't come up in a little while, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 drawings here since a green number hasn't come up. So I'm going to look on my game card in the 50 numbers to see if there's a green number there. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is saying, okay, what's been really hot over here, 10 through 19, it's been just really hot compared to over here with the 40s. The 40s is really sparse over here, so I'm thinking that a 40 number is going to be coming up in this drawing. And because these numbers of 10 through 19 have been just so hot, my guess is that there's going to be no winning numbers here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card, First, I'm going to look to see if there's any green numbers with the 50s, and then I'm going to eliminate the numbers that 10 through 19 off my game card. Okay, so I got the 52, the 54, and the 59. And again, I'm going to get rid of the 10 through 19. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 10, 11, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so the 52, 54, 59, I'm just going to keep in the back of my mind for right now. Again, the 59 looks pretty good because I think there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, so again, moving on with divide and conquer. I'm going to move on to my next strategy here, which I call the groups. Okay, I got group 4, group 6, group 8, and group 10. Okay, so let me go back to this group 4 here. Basically why I call it group 4 is I simply divided all the numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, so I'm going to update this so I'll give you a visual of what's going on. So again, the 26 came up, which is in blue, and the 27 is in blue. So I'm going to put a 2 down here, and again that represents the 26, 27. And then the 43 was in orange, and the 61 and 69 were in green. So there's no winning Powerball numbers in the red area. Okay, so over here I say, okay, how many groups got hit? 3 out of the 4 groups got hit. And I'm going to leave this 3 green because the majority of the numbers were over here to the right side. Okay, if the majority was over here to the left side, I would color this 3 red, just to give me some separation. And that's why I have all even numbers, okay, so I could have a majority on either the left side or the right side. Okay, so if I see something where it's been like, hey, the majority has been on the left side forever, it's kind of like flipping a quarter. You know, how many times is it going to come up heads before it comes up tails? You know, so how many times is it going to be the majority to the left side until the majority is to the right side? Okay, so if I could correctly guess that the majority will be to the right side, then I'm going to look for the left side to try to correctly guess where that 0 is going to be. This is the overall strategy. Try to eliminate numbers, all right? But with this one being 5 numbers and only 4 color groups, a lot of times there's a triple hit like this, okay? So this is why I only keep track of 3 drawings at a time like this, because I only have to wait 3 drawings before I get to the colors, okay, where I'm applying colors. Okay, so I'll explain that more in a second in more detail here. But you can see this was a triple hit. And this tells me how many triple hits there was. There was 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if a triple hit comes up a lot, then I'm going to use that information as, you know, for what I can use it for. You know, so if I have another hit right here after tonight's drawing, I'm going to think that another one is going to come up. So again, you know how I said that this has all the 40 numbers to it, and I said, you know, the 40 numbers have been pretty sparse, so I'm thinking that one's going to come up. So I'm thinking that there's going to be a hit right here. Okay, so again, I'll use this like any way that it will give me any kind of useful information to make a decision. Okay, so I have this Powerball number 1 here, I call it, and then I have a Powerball number 2 where things are a little bit offset here. Okay, so I'm going to update this one real quick. The numbers were the 26, 27. So I had 1 in the blue, actually 2 in the blue, the 43 right here. And then I had one in the orange, one in the red, the 61, and the 69 was in the green. So all four color groups got hit, so I'm going to mark that down. And the majority of the numbers were over here to the left side, so I'm going to make this 4 red. So you can see in the last couple of drawings here, the majority has been over here to the left side, and you can see that this is what I look for. Okay, this is the whole reason for doing this, is trying to create an advantage for myself. Okay, so you can see this has been really hot. Okay, so it's been 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 28, 29 drawings that one of these red numbers have come up. Okay, now these red numbers, they represent 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18 numbers total. So that leaves 51 numbers that are still out there. Okay, and with only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, you know, how long can this sustain this hitting streak before finally there's a 0 right here? Okay, so again, this doesn't happen very often. So I'm gonna choose that I think there's gonna be a 0 here, so I'm gonna mark this. I mark it blue, saying that, you know, when I come back through and I say, okay, the numbers came up, I'm marking it down, I put all the numbers, I update this, and I say, hey, did I do good? Did any of these red numbers come up? Or, you know, which would be great, or did one of these red numbers come up and burn me? You know, so I'm going to get rid of all these red numbers off of my game card. So the 1, 2, 10, 11, 5, 6, 31, 32. Okay, so the 1, 2, 10, 11, so I'll get rid of the 2. And then the 31, 32, so I'll get rid of those 3 numbers. And hopefully those do not come up. Okay, so now the 39, 40, 48, 49, and then the 35, 36, 52, 53, 54, and the 61. So I'll get rid of 4. So 6, 9, I'm actually getting rid of 10 numbers here, which is huge, but it's only huge if I'm correct. Okay, so let me move on to Powerball number 3. I have a third one here, and I'm going to update this one real quick. Again, just to give you a visual of things. Okay, so the 26 was in purple, and then the 27 was in green, the 43 and 69 were in yellow, and the 61 was in orange. Okay, so I had no winning Powerball numbers in the red area and no winning Powerball numbers in the blue area. It hit 4 out of the 6 color groups, and the majority of the numbers were over here to the right side, so I'm going to keep this 4 green. Okay, so again, this is why I only keep track of 3 drawings at a time. Okay, and now this is why I have 3 different ones, so it could always be staggered. Okay, so with this one, at least I got 1 number at the top, which gives me some kind of clue. And then with Powerball number 2, I got 2 of them at the top, which is the best advantage. And then with this one, I got none on the top. And now I'm going to be putting some colors to this. Okay, so this is why when I have 2 numbers at the top here, this is the best advantage. Okay, because now I get to use these tools over here, which this tells me how many blue marks do I have. I got 1, 2. And then over here, how many triple hits did I have? I had 1. And how many triple zeros? I had none. Okay, so a triple hit comes up a lot. So as I go back to my Powerball number 1 here, I do have a group 6 with one number at the top. So it's like, okay, which one of these is going to have this triple hit to it, because it comes up a lot. And I'm thinking it's going to be the red over here. Okay, so I'm thinking that one of these red numbers will be coming up in the drawing tonight. Okay, so let me go back to the where the advantage is. Okay, so with this option card, I got 9 of these option cards, and I got 4 options: red, blue, orange, green to choose from. So 4 times 9 is 36. So I have 36 of these options, and I feel that if I could just get one of these correct, 1 out of 36, I'll be really happy, because that will, I could eliminate up to 18 numbers off of my game card. Okay, but I'm going to skim through these, and if I can't pick the 0, then I want to try to pick where the triple hit is going to be. So if I look at this blue and I say, well, this has been pretty sparse, well, the other ones have been pretty close together, well, maybe this blue is due to have the triple hit, and one of these blue numbers will be coming up in the drawing tonight. Another thing I look for is, just a long hit streak here. You compare this one to this one, you can see how many zeros. Here's a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, or this is just continuous hits, and when is a 0 gonna pop up again? So again, those are a couple of things that I look for. I also look for a 0 that it's like this, that is on top of each other like this. You got 4 in a row, but over here in this blue, you got a single, 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 single. When's it gonna double up like over here? So that's another thing I look for. But again, I already made my pick of where I think the 0 is going to be, so I really don't want to press my luck. If I got that one correct, the odds of me getting a second one correct just go way, way up. Okay, so looking at this, in the last drawing, this is the overview of all of them. In the last drawing, all red areas had a hit to it. Okay, so let's go over that real quick. Okay, so here it is, the 69. And then there was the 27 here. The 26 in this one. Okay, so just to give you that visual here. So this is why I keep track of this. And look at this blue. A blue one hasn't had one in a really long time. So I'm just going to want to just look at these blue numbers real quick of all 9 option cards and see if anything like really kind of sticks out. The 43 kind of sticks out. Okay, again, I just want to kind of keep this in the back of my mind here. Alright, so now moving on. This is what I call Group 8. Okay, I got 3 of these option cards with an overview. And again, I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so here's the overview. Okay, so with the yellow area, with all 3 yellow areas, there was a 0 to it. Okay, so none of these yellow numbers came up. With option card number 2, another 0. Option card number 3, another 0 in the yellow. Okay, so that's why it's 0-3, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm looking for a color group that hasn't had a 0-3 in a while. Okay, so I'm looking at this green. It's way down here, where all the other color groups, you know, they're pretty close to the top, except for this green one, way down here. Okay, so I'm thinking that, you know, I definitely want to look at this green. You know, it's been pretty hot. I could definitely see a 0 here, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to mark it. And I'm going to say, I hope none of these green numbers come up, from the 2 to the 28 and the 40 to the 67. So off of my game card, the 2 to the 28. So I'll get rid of the 28, the 58, and the 67. So I'll get rid of 3 more numbers, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Looking at this green again. You know, it's a green number has come up in the last 5 drawings, which doesn't happen very often when there's 8 color groups and only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. You know, you can see a couple of streaks like over here. Went 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row, but besides that, going 5 in a row just doesn't happen very often. Oh, I'm looking at the orange. Yeah, now I kind of like that orange, but I'm thinking that green is going to have a 0-3 to it. So I'm going to go with the greens. And I'm going to get rid of the 10 to the 13 and the 48 to the 51. So I get rid of the 50 and the 51. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on to number 3. Again, I like the green. It looks like a 0 would be there, so gonna go for it. Kind of like how they're all even numbers as well, and I think the majority of the numbers that will come up tonight will be odd. So I'm going to get rid of the 8, 16, 26, 34. So I'll get rid of the 8, 26, 34. And then I get rid of the 46, 54, 62, 56, 64. Okay, so I'll get rid of those, and again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to go to, this was 8A, and now I'm going to 8B. And I'm going to go right to the overview. Okay, 03, 03, 03, 03, 03. So I'm looking at the red and the purple. Here's one for the purple, and that red is way down here. I'm going to look at them both. Over here I noticed that the majority of the numbers have been coming up over here to the left side. So I'm going to go with that red. And I'm going to get rid of all these red numbers. Another thing I don't like about it is that they're all odd numbers. That and the purple. So I kind of changed my mind on that. Now I don't like it. Kind of like this yellow right here. Been really hot. I think this is going to be a blue mark right here. So I'm going to say no yellow numbers on this one. Okay, so it's the 8. Well, I'll start with this side. 13, 19, 47, 53. There's no numbers there. And then the 8, 31, 42, 66. So I'll get rid of the 66. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, I'm not really liking this at all. If anything, I kind of like the purple, but I'm looking, the majority of the numbers have been coming up over here to this left side, so I don't like this one at all. I'm going to move on to my 8C. Go right to the overview. Again, 03, 03, 03, 03, 03. So the blue and the purple. Okay, look how many zeros are here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a hit. So I think that one of these yellow numbers are going to be coming up tonight. So the 3 to the 21 and the 41, 60, 68. Okay, mark that red saying I think there's going to be a hit. Thinking that this is going to be a green number, which I think that the majority of the numbers will be over on this side, the right side. Which I kind of like this orange area to have a 000. You know, there was no 2 000s. I think there's I'm going to be putting like a 1 or a 2 here. I kind of like the orange to do that. I'm going to go with the orange. And I get rid of the 14 to the 17 and the 44 to the 47. So I'll get rid of the 7 and the 3744. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Kind of thinking that this is going to be a green number, which again, I think the majority will be over on this side. And I kind of like this orange area again here. Well, I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'm going to move on to like group 10. Okay, so here with group 10, I know that there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, and there's 10 different color groups, so I know that 5 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so I don't mind picking a couple from here. You know, like this group 8 here, even though I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number, I only prefer to pick one of them. You know, if I could get one correct out of, the 3 that won't be coming up, if I go for a second one, the odds just go way, way up. Okay, so, but with this one, I don't mind picking from 2 of them. Okay, so a 000, this comes up a lot. So what do I have for a triple opportunity? I got the blue, I got the purple, and I got the brown. Okay, so I look for, hey, when's the last time a 000 came up? The blue, it's been a while. The brown's been a while as well, but I'm going to go with the blue. And here's another one with a bunch of zeros to it. I'm thinking that this is going to be a hit. And there's that 59. Remember I said that a green 50 number hasn't come up in a while? Well, maybe that 59 is due to come up. Okay, but I'm going to get rid of the blue. Okay, so it's the 4, 12, 16, 32. So there's no numbers there. And then it's the 56, 60, 66. So I'll get rid of the 60. Excuse me. Okay, so it's one more number off of my game card. And hopefully that 60 number does not come up. Okay, so moving on. I have 3 of these option cards as well. Looking over here, I see a bunch of red, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. Okay, so again, a 000 comes up a lot. I have an opportunity in the red, the turquoise, and the pink, brown. Again, a bunch of zeros with the green. I remember seeing that 3. Okay, so with the 000s here, you can see in the red, you get a bunch of 000s, 4 or 5 of them. Over here in the turquoise, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The pink, you got a couple, 1, 2, 3. And then the brown, there's only 1. So I'm going to go with this brown. Oh, the 59's here. I like that 59. I'm just going to leave this one alone. I like the green to have a hit to it, though. Okay, where's my 000 opportunity? I got it in the blue, the green, the turquoise, and the light blue. Turquoise hasn't had a 000 in a while. But I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. I'm thinking this yellow is going to have a hit. There's the 3 again. Okay, I guess that's it. That's all I'm going to guess at. But now I'm going to go to the overview. And again, I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. And here's one in the orange. You know, compared to the rest of them, the orange and the pink, 03 hasn't come up in a while. Kind of like this orange. I'm going to go for this one. 22, 29, 30, 44, 53, 61, 62. So I'll get rid of the 29, 30. And that's it. So hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on to the number 2. Again, it's the orange. 8, 16, 26, and then the 23 to the 33. Yeah. So I get rid of that 23. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Again, I think all 3 of these option cards, the orange area will have a 0 to it. That's what I'm hoping. So the 23, 24, 32, 33, then the 60, 68, 69. So I'll get rid of the 24, 25, 68, 69. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm all done here with all my option cards, with the one that has the best advantage. So now I'm going to go to the one that has the second best advantage. And that's my Decoding the Powerball number 1, where it has at least one number at the top. Okay, so I'm going to start with group 10. And I'm going to look for a 000 that hasn't come up in a while. And it has a 0 at the top as well. Not seeing very much. Okay, here in this brown, I kind of like this brown. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 4, 8, 38, 44. So I'll get rid of the 38. And then the 42, 60, 66. And those numbers are all gone. Okay, so moving on. See if I see anything that I like. Kind of like this yellow. I haven't seen a 000 in a long time. I'm going to go for this yellow. So the 2, 6, 24. Those are all gone. And then the 38, 40, 56, 66. I'm pretty sure that those are all gone. They are. And now I'm going to go to the overview. Again, I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. And all of them have really come up in a while, so not a big help. So I'm going to go to group 8. Kind of like this orange right here. You see all these hits right in a row. Again, that doesn't happen very often for some reason. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a 0 to it. And I'm going to get rid of the numbers of the 18 through the 26. So I'll get rid of the 21, and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, you see a lot of green over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. I'm kind of liking this yellow. It's been pretty hot lately. So I'm going to go with this yellow. And I'm going to get rid of the 6 down to the 67. And there's no numbers here. Okay, so moving on. Kind of liking this red over here to have 3 blue marks in a row. Hasn't happened all the way down since here, so hopefully that's due to happen, and there's going to be a 0, 0. So I'll get rid of this ring plus the 61. So I'll get rid of the 63, and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so moving on. Not really seeing anything I like here, so I'm moving on. Same with this one. Kind of liking this turquoise here. It's been wicked hot here, so actually I'm going to change my mind and go with this red. So the 18, 19, 20, 27, 28, 23, 24, 31, 32. I'll get rid of the 27. Don't really see anything here. I don't really see anything here either. Okay, so that's all I got. So I'm going to move to group 6. Okay, so with this group 6 here is I'm going to be picking where I think a 0 is going to be, but also where I think a hit is going to be as well. Okay, so over here I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. You can see this triple hit comes up a lot, so I'm thinking that this red is going to have a hit to it. So I got the 1, 18, 30, 5, 34. And then I got the 35, 62, 65, 39, 66, 69. Okay, so all those numbers, the only one I got is the 65. Okay, so I'm liking that 65. It's an odd number. Okay, so let me say that I like the 3 as well. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I'm thinking that this orange is going to have a hit to it. I think I saw the 41 or 43. Both of them. I actually like that 59 as well. Okay, so I'm just going to move on. Kind of thinking that this purple is going to have a miss to it. The 35 to the 65. Can't do that because I already picked the 65. But I kind of like this blue to have a hit to it. And have a triple hit actually. Okay, there's no numbers left. Okay, so I'm thinking this purple. There's the 41, 43 again. I kind of like those numbers. I'd like them both. So I'm going to go with these numbers here. I'm going to go with the 3, 41, 43, 59, 65. So 2 greens, a red, purple, orange. So another 4 color group will come up. Well, that's what I'm going to go with, and now I'm going to pick out a Powerball number. Okay, in the last drawing, the Powerball number was a 4. It repeated, came right back up again. So looking at this, there's 26 red ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so over here on this side, I just divided the numbers in 2. So if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 to 26. Over here, I just divided the numbers into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, it's odds. If you see a black number, it's evens. Okay, so 4 even numbers have come up in the last 4 drawings, of course. So I'm going to predict that this is going to be a red number. Okay, so I believe it's going to be odds. And over here, I have a 4 to 1, 5 to 0, 4 to 1, 4 to 1. Usually a 3 to 2 comes up the most. Okay, so I think that this is going to be 3 to 2 here. I already got 3 low, so I think it's going to be high. So I think it's going to be a high odd number. And what I'm looking at here is this 23 has been, it's been pretty hot. Here it is again. Here it is again. I'm hoping that this 23 is going to stay hot, and I'm going to go with this one. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 3, 41, 43, 59, 65, and the Powerball 23. Okay, so like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Well, I know I got more than 5 here, but again, I'm going to go with the 3, 41, 43, 59, 65, Powerball 23. Okay, so let's go over the odds real quick. The odds to get the 5 white ball numbers and the red ball, the grand prize, which is 45 million for this drawing. The odds of getting it correct are 1 in 292 million. My game is geared up for the 5 white ball numbers. So just to get the 5 white ball numbers, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay, so another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball. That pays 50,000 plus the power play. If you play it, you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so going over a budget, I spend $3 on the Powerball. So if I were to play every single drawing for a year, there's 3 drawings per week, 52 weeks, so 3 times that would come out to $468 per year I would spend on my game decoding the Powerball. Okay, so in closing, I just want to thank you for watching. Again, you could support my game through my Patreon page at patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, there's no "the" in there. It's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $45 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.